Hi, welcome to Book Reviews with Niall Phillips. Bang, bang. Book Reviews with Niall Phillips. Bang, bang. Yeah, we've got a different vibe going on today. We've got a scarf, we've got a vodka and ice, we've got a new plant. Mummy bought me. Well done, Mummy. What are you eating? Why are you eating? I can hear you chewing like a wild yak. Up and down and up and down. Go and eat in the porch. God. We've got a different vibe today. It's London. It's 2020, baby. It's pretty cool, you know? Today, we are reviewing Bang Bang, the exciting, the new novel by Rachel Cusk, Outline. Part of a trilogy. You Can Go Away and You Can Go Away. Naughty books. Damn. We're only reviewing the first part because I feel the dissection is required. Us to really poke out the avocado pip, see you later, and just get that gobbly juice in. Only the skin is bad for your throat, your esophagus. Vodka! Now, what I'm going to say is this book is hip. It's trendy, it's sexy, it's opaque. It's got a visual oomph to it. When I was a boy, I was kicked in the back of the head by a boy called Andrew. That's how I feel talking about this book. Punch, kick in the back of the head by Andrew when I was a boy. This book has got some air. It's got some flavour. It's got some va-va-voom. Rachel Cusk, for me, is a writer on the peak of her work. Her work is exciting, visceral. Oh yeah, let's go to a disco. Let's go to a disco. Yeah, woo! It's got that vibe. Still hear you chewing, Mummy. Go to the porch. We are being disturbed left, right and centre today. Ruddy foxes. I don't want to get annoyed at you, Mr. Fox, but I will hunt you down. This is what I mean. More what, I ask. More life, he said, opening his hands in a gesture of receipt. And more affection, he added, after a pause. I wanted more affection. All the drama, the D to the R to the A to the M to the A drama, is all from these other characters. And all Faye, our protagonist, our leading lady, does is receive the information and then move along on her journey. And the reason why I fell in love with this story... Foxes. The reason why I fell in love with this was that thing I said at the start, this thing about it being opaque. Opaque. The massive canvas, like when you go to the Royal Art of Gallery and there's this massive picture, kind of a Rothko vibe. Oh, he's adding art, lit. Oh God, he's so clever. Niall Phillips, book reviews. He's such a bright sausage. He drinks vodka. Oh, that was quite a repugnant noise I made then. I'm so naughty. Ooh, I'm like a little disco diva at 3:30, not caring. I'm not leaving this disco. I'm too busy partying. Get me more gin. Get me more fags. Yeah, more volley for me. Oh, you're having dessert, are you? Which is apparently more rocks. God. And as the story progresses, it's lots of these conversations where we are just sitting there, you know, with our hair and our toothpicks, and our vodka, We're observing what's going on within the text. Another gorgeous piece of writing I noticed later on in the latter part of the novelle. I've just ripped the page. That's really annoyed me. I'm going to lose my mark. I've ripped it. This is what I loved. No matter how busy you are, no matter how many kids or commitments you have, if there's a passion, you find the time. And there's a lesson there for all of us. You know, if you want to make that film, if you want to write that poem about the didactic teacher, want to write that poem about the swans floating in the ocean, want to go and talk to that guy about making a duo dance piece in Dublin or Deutschland, go and do it. Go and do your passion. And Rachel Cusk does this with such ease, like a frog flipping through the ocean fog. A quote, a chunk of the text that I also fell in love. I find myself thinking of the simplicity of the time before we had said one syllable to one another. That is the time I'd like to go back to, she said. The time just before we opened our mouths to speak. And again, there's that honesty. There's that gentle energy that runs throughout, especially the book one outline. Human beings, when they interact with one another, whether you can or you can't, or you should or you shouldn't, is superfluous. It's more about the need, the desperation for those connections, those communications to be made. And when they're not made, it's pants. It's like, you know, when You think, oh, I don't know where I've left my house keys. Someone's at the door just going ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. You're like, oh, you, aren't you cheap? Bonus! I think you should read, especially the first one, Outline, because it goes on this journey to Athens and about communications with strangers and that interaction we need as human beings, and that's so important. And when it's taken away from you, it's rather tough. I'm going to give this book 5 + 5, that's a 10. Give it a ruddy 10. The reason why is because Cusk, like Nusgard, does this thing where she goes, here's my beating heart, boom, boom, puts it on the page for you, and you can just dissect it. You can get some toothpicks like this, look, my lip, and you can enjoy it, such like as that. You know, I've dropped my toothpick. So when I say it's like 10 stories or 10 interactions with other human beings, this is a perfect example. So as always, let's end on the comments we've received on YouTube or our Instagram TV or just an email, whatever. And again, we've got nothing again. It's as if our time, isn't it? It's as if we're sitting here in a big forest going, whoa! Pants!